Sorry, lambat. First time guna. Alright. I'm just gonna start because I'm already late. So rewatch it. Okay, alright, I will start. Abigail Basiau, and I am a third year student in UMS, taking the International Relations course. Today I will be talking about healthy coping mechanism, that is my title, these days, and handling stress. Just people in general are under a lot of pressure. We are under a lot of stress. I know most of us handle stress very often, but I think it has heightened a lot lately because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our country right now is not in the best shape, if you ask me, but honestly, the world have seen their better days, and what else? Just confined to the small spaces, or if you're like me, if you're a student, right, you are probably in college, in your hostel or with your family, or just living. Yes, the pandemic has almost been, and that also can cause us a lot of us couldn't go home at all, or we left home for almost a year, just to pursue our studies. Couldn't go home at all, or we left home for so simply not able to live life to the fullest, or should I say not able to live life as so simply not able to live life to the fullest, or should I say not able to start by saying your feelings and your emotions are completely valid. And I want to tell, I know for some people that asking for help comes easily, or some of us just have better coping mechanism. So I decided for my topic for today, I would be giving a talk about, or giving tips on their stress. So this healthy coping mechanism that I would mention should be feel calm and ready to handle whatever it is that life is throwing at us. Okay, so the first, I have seven here. I have 7 healthy techniques. So the first one is box breathing. Box breathing is breathing in for 4 seconds, and I think we all heard about this, like whenever you get stressed, whenever you get overwhelmed, when the anxiety starts to creep up, take a deep breath to ground you. So I heard this will slow down your breathing, so it activates like a calming response. So yeah, the breathing technique it's called box breathing. The second one is I don't know, there's no title around us. So 5 things we see, 4 things we touch, 3 things to hear, 2 things to smell. Example, right now I'm in a room. 5 things I see is the curtain, my laptop, my bag here. So you just look at something and you focus on it, like you ground yourself. Where am I right now? I'm in a room. What is this? What is in this room? So you will list down 5 things and tick it off your list. Laptop, which is if you're a student, or any anybody who is working at home, the laptop, your phone is always with you. Things to hear. So I usually live where I can hear dogs barking, especially where I am right now. Birds chirping, and then two things. What else can we hear? Probably if you smell, right? We shouldn't smell something bad. So find something to smell good, or light a candle. Have the scented candles, so you can try that to like ground yourself. And one thing to taste. So with like me, for me, I also have these small snacks that I carry around, especially when I'm studying, so I can be more awake and be more alert. So you can just taste it. So all of these things, 5 things to see, 4 things to hear, 4 things to touch, 3 things to hear, 2 things to smell, and 1 thing to taste, is something that grounds you. It grounds you in the present moment. It slows down racing thoughts. So when you're feeling overwhelmed or like the stress is getting to you and you just feel like you're flowing away from the present moment, you can just try to ground yourself by knowing that right now, like repeating the dates or something, right now is this time, and ground yourself at that exact moment so your thoughts don't just fly away and overthink more than you already is overthinking. Number 3 is exercise. Yes, this is a very, very, very basic advice that I think everybody gives us, or whenever we look it up, like how to handle things, how to have a better better lifestyle, they always say exercise. And I know not a lot of us love the word exercise. We think of jogging and sweating and you're just, nah, I don't want to do that. But I've done this, especially when I was back in my hostel. Before I got back, my roommates and I did exercise. We did try to have to exercise like every day, but that failed. But during the moment that we did exercise, it did clear up my head. So over here it said exercise floods the body with endorphins, uses that to help adrenaline, and clears our head and calms us. So exercising, of what I learned, I did make a playlist exercise of like planks and those very not extreme. I guess if you do it all the time, it's not extreme, but kind of boring, repetitive exercise. So you might not want to do it, especially when you're alone, because it's not fun. It's just like forcing yourself to do something. So I would recommend what we did, which was trying to dance. I say try because I cannot dance. So if you're not like a professional, I see a lot of my friends Zumba. They do Zumba, which is fun because it's upbeat. The moves are usually very simple and it's easy to follow along. And if you want to be more on the trend, right, to have more fun, or listen to music, or use music that you listen every day, or TikTok dance. Why not do TikTok dance? So there is a compilation in YouTube where they help make easy for us non-dancers to dance TikTok dance. Hello, I can see my friends here. Hi guys, thank you for coming. Oh yeah, so you can dance TikTok dance. So to just have fun, and you don't have to do it right, as long as you like move your body, because you are focusing on one thing. It grounds you in the present moment. So like all your stress at that moment kind of like smooth it down a little. It calms you down a little because you're technically having fun. And then just don't stress by I gave a tip of exercising today. I must exercise every day, and you stress yourself to exercise. Do not stress yourself to exercise. You can play badminton with people, but once again, because of the pandemic, not everybody is able to do that. So if you can do that, you should do that. If not, you should just dance alone in your room. You can have like a small party, clubbing or something. Not clubbing, just dancing. Okay, exercise done. Fourth on the list. Fourth on the list is writing, which is acknowledging your feelings, which is acknowledging that you are stressed and what is stressing you out. So this is something that I used to always do because I was not good at expressing my feelings by talking much before this. Before I developed like a really good communication skill. It's not like right now I'm really good at it, but it definitely improved. So writing, this is having a diary which you write, dear life diary. You don't have to do it formally. You can just like write down, like, as you are stressed, you just write it down, your feelings, like without any filter, because you're not gonna let anybody like read at it. It's just for you. So if you're stressed out, you can write it out. So if you're too embarrassed to look at it, you can just like crushed it, throw it away, but your feelings are already out. So this will help tune in our thoughts and feeling, and because you wrote it down, you will kind of figure out an action plan. That's what's happened to me when I write my diary. I would like list down all my problems, like I have too much this, too much that, I have too much to do, and I list down what things that I had to do that was stressing me out so much. And while I was like listing it down, I realized that, hey, maybe I should do this one first and then this one first. So so it helps you figure out like an action plan to do, so you can figure out what you need to do and maybe lessen down your stress. Number 5 on our list is take a break from technology. I'm looking at everybody here because I know everybody here is always on their phone, which same. And then it's kind of hard to get off of technology, especially when that is all we have right now. You talk to your friends with technology right now through your phone, through social media, because if you don't use the technologies that is provided, then we are not able to talk to other people almost, especially those who are confined to their homes or those who lives in hostels and wants to talk with their families every day. Let me just answer, because I had a problem with this, and that's why I was late. Alright, so yes, you have to take, and I did try this, taking a break for a few days, almost a week, and it's kind of addicting when you do it actually, because that feeling when you wake up and you see all these chats, and you're just so stressed out because it just reminds you of how many things you have to do. I'm not saying like avoid your friends or avoid all the assignments that are due, but taking a break after you submit all the due dates is kind of really good. Like, do not just sit down and scroll on TikTok until 4 a.m. in the morning. We all do it, but we all know it's not healthy. So try to take a break from technology. Even if you cannot do it like a whole day, try to limit the few hours. Like assignments and replying to friends about the assignments do not count by now, I think. But your social media use, like Instagram or TikTok, I keep mentioning TikTok, YouTube, Netflix. So yeah, try to tone it down, because you might think that it is helping with your stress, but it kinda also add more to your stress sometimes, because we like to procrastinate using social media. Okay, number 6, second last, is leaning or talking plus asking. So this one, you need really good friends, honestly, to do it. You need a really good circle in your life. I'm very grateful to have both family and friends that would be there for me whenever I'm stressed. I could just, text them these long chats or call them. Or like my high school friends, we have these movie nights that we call. So we could, even if there's nothing to talk about, spending time with your friends is always a good way to distress, because right now everybody is like in the same situation, and everybody is stressed out. Everybody wants to socialize and leave their homes, talk to their friends. So that movie night helps, because you will talk to each other, and then that would lead to, like, mundane questions like, how are you, what did you do, stressed out, are you still stressed out with that group assignment, things like that. And in my university, I also have a circle of friends that would always, at least like once a week, they would ask us, they would ask everybody in the group if everybody's okay, and sometimes we would video call each other. So that is very important, not not avoid your talking about your feelings, and sure, writing is also good, but if you have somebody to talk to, if you have people that you could depend on, it would be better, because talking your feelings out is always a good way to distress. And I'm sure everybody thinks like, I don't want to burden anyone, I don't want to make my friend's situation worse by talking about my feelings. I'm sure they're going through a hard time too, like everybody is like that. But don't think like that. Your friends care about you, and they want to know how you are doing. So even like give them a little update, just say like, yeah, I'm stressed about this one assignment, and I'm sure they would try to console you. So try and go and talk to your friends. If not, find somebody that you are able to talk to, find hotlines or help that you can get. Do not bottle your emotions. That's what I learned, especially now. Do not bottle it up. Do not wait until you are ready to explode, and then you realize like, oh no, this is bad. Well, there's no such, maybe it's not too late, but it's better to just, when you assess, just go ahead and say it. I'm sure a lot of students will still be awake at 3 a.m. and is ready to hear your thoughts. Like, even if you're very embarrassed about it, you can just write long messages and just say, don't reply in the end. I'm sure your friends would understand, because like I said, the pandemic, everybody is in this together and you are not alone. And in that sense, I'm not saying that just because you're not alone, your feelings are invalid. It's not like that. I'm just saying that you are not alone, and that everybody probably understands your situation too. So lastly, in the healthy coping mechanism list, like another healthy tip to cope with your stress is gratitude. This is also something that I've read a lot lately, especially when you're trying to have a better lifestyle and you just Google up like how to have a better lifestyle. Usually gratitude comes up. It will say something along the lines of, list 3 things that you are happy today, or list 3 things that you feel grateful about today or about your life. Every day you list it like that, at least 3, at least 1, whatever works for you, because gratitude, it will flood us with feel good hormones, increase our sense of connectedness and purpose, help us focus on problems other than our own. So feeling the gratitude, it's not also like avoiding the problems, but also feeling like it's making yourself feel positive. When you're so stressed out, you're not supposed to listen to more depressing songs. Go listen to upbeat songs to feel better, and so you can clear your head. So gratitude is almost like the same thing. You should find things that you are grateful for, or like me, I'm always grateful to have my family and friends, grateful to have a roof under my head, grateful to have my dogs, things like that. Little things like that, little details like that are very important in our life. So that is the seven healthy tips to cope with stress. And I'm just gonna add here 5 things to watch out for, to look out for, or to avoid, basically. So the first one is, please avoid alcohol or other substances like drugs. Do not do drugs, kids. Because as we know, when you're overwhelmed with your emotion, you would want to consume or indulge in something that would give you temporary happiness, temporary calmness. But imagine what happens after that. Like alcohol, it gives you hangover, especially if you do it to the extent of you get really really drunk because you want to forget about your problems. So do not do that. We all know that alcohol and other substance like drugs are just not good for our health in the long run too. So number 2 is over or under eating. So this is something that I used to be guilty of, because it's not like I'm on a diet or like I'm so stressed I don't want to eat. It's for me lah, but it's usually something on the line along the lines of I'm so busy I can't eat, or I have so many assignments I don't deserve to eat. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't think like that, because that would only add your stress, because you are not having enough nutrients in your body and you're supposed to keep yourself healthy physically and mentally. So if you're mentally like drowning, you can't physically drown too. You have to try and keep those two balance. So do not overeat because you're stressed. You just binge eat everything and then feel bad after that because you're too full, or undereat and then just not get enough nutrients. So make sure, please, please, please make sure to drink your water. Drink your water. DK, if you're still here, drink water. What else? And eat. Do not forget to eat, because this is also something I'm guilty of sometimes, because you're so busy. Especially when I was back in the hostel and I don't have enough time to go down to the cafe almost, especially when I live on the 4th floor. That just like demotivate me to go out. But it's still important to go out and grab a meal. So don't skip on your meals and eat regularly. Number 3, avoidance. So this is very important. I think everybody does it. Like avoid your problems. Like you close your eyes and you think your problems just goes missing. But it's not good, because imagine if you're running away from your problems and the problems are like following you, and each step more stress adds, and that pile of stress become this giant thing following you around. So it's like you can't help but add problem to your life, because problems, conflict, stress is part of our daily life, and I think it's time to accept it and just have better healthy coping mechanism so we can deal with it better. So if you avoid stress, it's just gonna get bigger. It's like when you avoid your assignments. If you're a student, if you avoid your assignment, it's not gonna magically finish on its own, or it's not gonna magically disappear and you can just get an A easily. It's not like that. It will pile up, and on the day of the due date you'll be like, oh no, it's become a giant pile of assignments. So stress is the same thing. Do not avoid your stress head first. Just deal with it head first, no matter how hard it is. Number 4, social withdrawal. So this is something that everybody does. That's why the one of the healthy tips that was given was to talk and ask other people how they are and just have a conversation. This is important because you should not withdraw from society. It's not good to be alone for too long. I also like being alone in my room. I also like my personal space, but everybody needs human interaction. So even if you're like very introverted, you have one friend or like your very small circle of friends, you should at least talk to them. You should just, send them memes or something. Watch a movie together, send them TikToks, funny TikToks, and just have something to talk about if you're not ready to talk about your feelings. So do not withdraw from society. Like I said, we all need human interactions. It's important for us to talk to other people. And it's really not healthy in general to be alone for too long. It's not good if you're alone for too long, especially with your own thoughts, and then you get overthinking. It's just not healthy. And lastly,
Bangkel.
self-harm. So I am not qualified to talk about self-harm, and I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, like I know of everything about so I'm toning my tone down because it is a quite a serious topic. It's a very serious topic, self-harming. So please don't go to that extent. I don't know if this helps, these stress tips helps, but if you do come to the conclusion that self-harm is the only way for you to not feel stress or to escape something, I think it's time to find professional help. If talking to your friends don't help you, you should find a more professional help. Yes. So my heart goes all out for everyone. I think that's it from me. And thank you for everybody that has come. So this is my first time using Facebook Live, and I don't really know how to use it. That's why I was late. So I'm sorry for being late, by the way. And yeah, so that was me with my topic of healthy coping especially for stress. So that was 7 tips. Let me just conclude everything. The 7 tips is box breathing, which is just taking deep breath. 5 things we see, 4 things we can touch, 3 things to hear. This is like to ground things. 2 things to smell and 1 thing to taste. That was number 2. Number 3, exercise, or do small dances. You don't have to exercise for an hour. Just move your body. Go cycling. Number 4, writing. One of my favorite ones, writing. Number 5, take a break from technologies and social media. Number 6, leaning, which is talking and asking. And number 7, gratitude. List down what you are grateful for today or that day. Now, 5 things to watch for is alcohol and other substance. Number 2, over or under eating. Number 3, avoidance of your problems. Number 4, social withdrawal. It's a big no-no. And number 5, self-harm. So I hope everybody had fun or got something out of this topic of mine. And just watch out for your friends, watch out for yourself. Do not burden yourself if you're not ready. Do not burden yourself with other people's problem if you cannot help yourself. But it's always good to have somebody to talk to, and maybe in these times we just help each other because we are all we have. So that's it from me. Thank you everybody for coming to this Speaker's Corner. Once again, my name is Abigail, and yeah, thank you. Looks like I know a lot. I don't really know a lot. Oh my gosh, let me just read a few of the comments. Oh my god, I already said goodbye, right? I don't know a lot. This is just me and my readings, because I'm still very guilty about a lot of this stuff. But just the first step to solve your problems is to acknowledge that you have problems. So acknowledge your problems. Yes, do videos. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. So yes, thank you for HAP for inviting me to do my talk today, and thank you for everybody that came. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.